The left hand side and the Strand Lake on the upper side.
That wee mountain way up in the distance.
The mountain, that's Bruce Mountain Arva.
So some, yeah. So you can go right over there, Sleeve Gla, easily seen.
And that spike out there where the mast is on it, that's up on Cross Keys. That's Bullaroo Hill out there on the Cross Keys. Between the trees you can just see the spike of the cathedral there. To the left of the pole. See the pole in the middle of the field?
Yeah.
Go a straight line across the top of that and the spire of the cathedral's there sticking out.
Right. Oh yeah.
You can just see it shining slightly. Montgomery's, they were related to Field Marshal Montgomery down here.
How, you mean where Munda's farmyard is?
Where this building is.
Is that
This farmyard.
That's Munda's, isn't it?
That's Munda's now. And that used to be Montgomery's. And they were related to Field Marshal Montgomery. It's alleged anyway. This field here, when I got this field in 1980, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think there were 6 fields in that. And below the lower side of that ash tree, that lone ash tree down there, that's the football field.
Right.
That's where the Bridget boys played football back at the turn of the century. Frank Gillen was one of the fellas that played out here. That's not the day, yes. So the Gillens there where the Rourkes is now living. Where opposite you around there.
Yeah.
That was his house. Or that's where he played football. I will see it when we come back up.
Leg Fort.
Their Goss Fort is up there. And Mahud's Fort is just on the bend of the river there. That's Tinker's Island, the famous Tinker's Island. Best seen in a heavy flood, but it stands out the far side of that field where the yellow weed, the bottoms are. Come up that ditch, follow that ditch right round to the corner of Martin Fitch's and come back out in a kind of a pear shape. It's out on its own. You know, if you come down around December, you can come down here yourself. When there's a high flood, it'll just sit out. You can stand here, the leaves will be gone off the bushes, and there's Tinker's Island sitting there in front of you. Those bottoms will be all flooded,
they usually
completely underneath you. You know it yourself.
No, I do, I do indeed.
And Packies will be flooded, and then you'll see Tinker's Island sitting out over there. It's alleged that back...
I'll come up in the winter now with the camera and see can I get a...
Many years ago that 400 people lost their lives in a big battle that was fought there.
Was there a name in the battle?
No, I can't. I never got that. It was my uncle that told me about it. Patrick was now dead.
Oh, sure.
And then you're looking at the highest arable fields in Cavan straight ahead.
Oh, yeah, that's right up.
There's the power thing, the water thing you're talking about.
Where is Liam Murphy's?
Behind.
Oh, it's behind it, right.
The far side, it's on the behind the cattle. See the 2 ash trees there behind the cattle?
Yeah.
Just behind that there's ruins. You know those old burial stones.
I can't remember what they used to call them.
There's a name for them.
Yeah, but I remember as kids going around it, they used to say something about them. I can't remember some story about them.
A cave or a dugout in this fort here, in Goss Fort. And that's where the local IRA gang hung out. Now they would have been Fitch, Masterson, Jamesy Masterson down the road. His father was in it. I think one of the McGeartys from Inishmore.
Is it still there, the dugout?
Yeah, the dugout, the traces of it still there, yeah.
Let's go and have a look at that now. I mean, it's just at the top of that hill there, isn't it?
I'll show it to you.
That fence is not on it? It isn't.
This land, this is Pat Lawler's land.
Where does Pat live? I heard the name, but I don't know him.
Just this side, the little lane, this side of the old post.
Alright.
1, 2.
Our one is behind that hill, really, isn't it?
You can see yours from that one.
Yeah.
And here is 3. That one over there is 4. And Mahud's down at the... That's 5 forts from here.
5 forts. But again...
Going into your own shed in there. The bend there, that was Drumsilla village.
Yeah, well, I tell you...
and the remains of the old houses
are there. There used to be on the top of the hill over there, just above the fir trees there, there was remains of, I don't know if it was 1 or 2 stone houses there. In on the lane there, all right. Remember the old remains there as well.
Up from your shed, there to the left hand side of where your shed was, you know that. Billy Dane, in the here.
Well, I remember Benny McMahon.
Ah, do you remember where he lived?
I used to be in the house, sir. I remember him.
Well, Benny had the old house.
Yes, I remember the old thatched house.
The old thatched house.
Yeah, I was in it. Yeah.
Well, the original people that were there, they were Biddy Dane that lived there.
I remember my father. Now that you mentioned that name, I remember a good while ago.
Biddy Dane.
Biddy Dane.
But here in the village, Tommy Brown told me, and he says there was houses here in the corner at the bend, and the old stone walls is there beside the cattle crush, and that was Drumsilla village, and they had a pipe band, and they used to go that road. That was I
know the road going all the way up there.
Out to Terry Leddy's. Yes, Paddy Leddy's. Well, I rode a bike through that, and we used to bring the hay. That's Columns.
Yeah, the
fields, the far side of the planting there, that green field, and the other one coming down here, and we used to draw the hay up
through
that lane,
yeah.
Back home to Orney, I'm talking about in the 50s.
Yeah.
And Tommy told me that there was a pipe band in Drumsilla, and they used to march from the main road back out to the junction here out at Biddy Dane's, they called it, at Biddy Dane's, at Conley's there, there's no one in Biddy Dane's cross junction.
But are you talking where Paddy Munda has his house now? That was the village, in at that corner of the road, is it? Or are you talking about up here?
No, here, I'm talking about
where the actual
in the bend, where the cattle crush is. You know where the cattle crush is, where you come in there, where Jude built the cattle crush.
Yeah, that's where Paddy Munda is.
Ah, his house, the
yes,
far side.
Yeah.
Well, this side of that, there's
I know, that was right. Yeah, it was the same place we're talking about.
Yeah, that was Drumsilla village. Yeah.
That was I remember those old ruins there, all right.
Yeah.
There used to be
this land would have belonged to Teevens originally, which is the Lawlers. They married into that, and the house then sitting on the top of the hill, where Pat Lawler's aunt lived. Katie Lawler.
Where is it?
At the top of the lane, up from our cattle shed.
Oh, right, yeah.
In the back, that's where she lived. And this is the bog down here where we used to cut the turf.
Yeah, my father had a little thing at the bottom of the thing there, all right. Yeah,
far side of the planting.
Not a whole pile now,
no,
which is a little bit.
That's where there's slaying over there. This side was mud. And that drain, those drains that's there, they were opened up in the drainage thing, and the mud that was cut out of it was made into turf.
Was there ever any use of the old blue clay underneath it? Was it ever used for anything?
No, not that I remember.
It was no good for anything, probably. No, I noticed several times before digging down, and it wasn't long before, and it seems to be every place, isn't it?
Oh yeah, all that thing is all full of blue clay. And like blue clay, they say there's no bottom to blue clay, but of course there is a bottom to blue clay. If you dig deep enough, you'll get.
I thought it'd be good for pottery or something.
Yeah, well, there's heaps of it down there.
Oh, there's plenty. Yeah,
and that bog eventually run out. It started to run into the depth. It wasn't to
produce
work
anything.
It. Yeah, it was getting too much contaminated with clay.
Yeah, so you'd be losing.
But I have them photographs that I must dig up for you and show you the procedure of the turf.
Yeah, that'd be good. All right, put that up on the old web. Because
you didn't get any of the traditional way of making hay, I suppose, did you?
No.
And Jesus,
I was hoping John Clancy might get something from me, but I haven't heard anything from him in a while.
I imagine there was 2 fields of hay made. I've seen them in my travels. And where
recently,
Cox. Oh yeah,
I did. Yeah.
Cocks of hay.
Yeah, I seen that. I seen somewhere.
If I'm not mistaken, it's between. If I'm not, I'll know tonight, because I'm going out in the papers tonight and tomorrow night. If it's but along the road somewhere, I've a good feeling it's between Coothill and Shercock.
I was just going to say Coothill because I was over there the other day.
I see, and you know what I've seen a fella doing somewhere recently, dagging a corner. Did you ever hear of that?
Never heard of that, no.
Well, the machines they'll work round in a half moon to the closest they can get into a corner. And there's always a little triangular bit left in every corner. Even with the horse machines that would be slower, the tractors, they couldn't get into it. And then the farmers come along with a side.
I'll get you on camera while you're saying that.
It's made from American ash.
All right.
And very expensive thing to buy. Funny, only yesterday I was telling I was getting timber in Killishandra for Derek, and I was telling your man, he said something about a side inside the snail. And he said, do you know what they call the hands of a snail? And he told me what they were, and I never heard tell of it before.
Go on.
There's a name for them. For the two hands on the side.
Hello. Brian, how you doing? Yeah. I do, yeah, I do. There's one at the house. Yeah, RJ45s, yeah. Because the crimper's not doing it. I don't know if you're around. Oh, well, I'm not at home at the moment, but I'll be home probably in about maybe half an hour or something like that. If you want to call out, will do. Talk to you later, maybe. Bye bye. Bye bye.
If you want to come down someday and climb up them hills,
Yeah, I must do.
and 20 yards in from that ditch on the right hand side, you can gradually go into the fort, and you'll see the remains of it. You'll see a little
There'll be a bit of
cut,
stone.
and it's on the east side of. No, there's no stone. It was cut out, and it was covered with galvanise, and then there was clay put across the top of it. But they just dug into the face of the ring.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
And it's on the east side. Actually, you see, I'm just going to put some posters up there. You can see a bush here about the middle of the bend.
Yeah.
In that area there, for the
I've never been up in that fort now. I've been in most
that's
of the
Derragos.
Derragos fort.
I think Derragos is the wood of the hazel, is it?
Hold on. Don't be saying that. I'm not recording you because I'll not remember it. Are we on? Is there a gun?
With a number on it.
At least
I can
some,
get get that for you. And it's a legally held shotgun, and there's a number on it. There's another fort, you can't see it from here, it's behind that. 50 Sean Quinns. I want to go down to the river to throw this.
Oh yeah.
The ducks down there feeding.
Are we feeding the ducks at the bridge, are you?
You don't see white ducks across the garden the other way. Not
They're up around, well, there's a
wild.
good...
They flew away.
Yeah.
Oh, wild though.
Well, there's a good batch of them, and they're feeding around
Why did
shallow part outside the football pitch there.
yeah, think.
Must be the same ones there. No, are they? Well, no, they're flying away when they're going by.
Are they?
Yeah.
Flying full away.
Oh yeah, they're flying up the further up the river, and I've come across them again.
I can see it with the sun. Sean, you're looking
I
at
see the
back.
windmills anyway.
You can see the windmills, yeah, turbines.
Well, I see a bit of smoke over there, so it's probably... No, well there, yeah,
Yeah.
smoke there as well.
Yeah, well you're looking, yeah. I thought you could see the plant from here.
You got some distance there, you know.
You're looking straight down into Ballyconnery. And you're looking over into Glen Mountain.
Like Swanland Bar
Yeah.
is at the foot of that crest over there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah. And back up here you'll see the gap.
One thing I haven't done yet, and I must do it sometime, is the Cavan. What is it called? The Cavan Way. What was it called? A mass pass.
People going to mass.
Oh right. So they'll be coming all the way down here and around to
Actually,
Well,
Nara built about 6 foot wide. 2 ditches.
And what will? I mean, it'd be going to the church over there, and it'd be going to the church.
Going from here out to come out at Anna Farr's at the post office.
Ah, right, yeah. This is where the old house was, isn't
There's
it?
a house there and there's a house in here as well. 2 houses here. Now, the mass pass that was left of it in my time started about there. Now the people coming from out that end would come round the banks of the river, right? And come in here, and it went down here.
It'd be going over this
Went
direction.
across a plank. Let me see. Just 12 o'clock from me here.
Yeah.
There was a plank there. See that tree over there?
Tree down the
Far
bottom there. Yeah,
bottom.
yeah,
There was another plank there.
yeah.
That brought them out to a stile where that big ash tree is.
Right.
That went out into Rourke's. It went out across Rourke's and in through Farrell's field into the corner.
Yeah.
And there's the remains of that pass there.
Yeah.
That was the Mass Pass.
The Mass Pass.
Yeah.
Right.
Another thing can never be found if this or not, but they started to build a railway line here.
Oh,
the
you
railway lines were forced into it. Why it was started here, nobody ever knows.
They didn't. I mean, it was only down. I mean, there would have been no sleepers or anything like that.
No, just started to dig out. Back. It was a land. Yeah. You see the slight little dent here, just here in front of us in the field. See the little bank,
Yes. Yeah.
and it's coming down.
Yeah.
That was a holler, big
Right.
holler, and it went out into that field and it was heading out next that pole out in the corner of your
Yeah.
field.
See that?
And they said it was heading for Red Hills.
A railway line, right?
Yeah, the clay was taken out of this, right? Pushed out into that bottom, built up about a bank of clay. Actually, if you see there's a kind of a greenish mark just ahead of you.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking at that.
And now that was where the different clay was there when I levelled it out. And it only went about 10 yards into the bottom, the far side. So obviously that was done before that drain was cut. Whenever that was. So this had to be done sometime in the 1800s. The clay was taken out of here. A bank built out in that bottom, out into the next bottom. It stopped there. It was a railway line that they were starting from where to where, nobody knows.
Sure.
And
Going that direction over.
you can see the line of it, the lower side of that tree. You see the bank here.
Yeah.
Slightly. There was a bigger dip here, and that was pushed out into the bottom, the far side. It went out for about 15 yards, I'd say, out into the bottom, the far side. It was a quite big bank.
But it would have been sort of like a goods thing or a turf train or something, or
Oh, it might have been a commercial for trains of whatever trains were going to carry. And they said it was heading back out that direction around the bank of the river was the plan of it.
Yeah.
Now, my uncle used to tell me that, but that's where it started, that's where it finished.
the football field.
Yeah. For the bridge, this was the fourth bridge football field.
Ah, yes, sure, there'll be a good length to it.
Huh?
There'll be a good length to it.
Aye, but then
Well, that was a ditch. There was
There
5
was a
fields
ditch.
here at the time you were saying.
it only went from that corner there to this corner here. So that ditch, it come down by that ash tree, it come down to about here, the football field. And then it went in an L shape back up here. There was kind of an L shape. But this was the football field. Somebody told me that he actually picked out and blasted out the rock,
All right.
and then they put in the drag lines and they pulled the rock in here.
Oh, that's why there's a good rocky bank on it here. All right.
Same
Yeah.
done below ye there.
Yeah.
Miles' bottom and under the football pitch and down and around the whole way right down to the point, or all that water was all drained.
Yeah. Won't be here waiting.
Funny feeling there.